Let's get a check on shares of Apple. A day after the stock closed at a record high, the shares are pulling back slightly in today's session, and that's after perhaps just taking a pause, but also got a downgrade over at UBS. The analysts there moving to neutral from overweight and basically saying soft demand trends are to blame for that, but also pointing out that the stock is trading at a 50% premium to the market. So this sort of similar, I guess to some extent, to what Chris Harvey was just saying at Wells Fargo, right? Is that it's not necessarily that some of these mega cap stocks are not going to grow. Mm-hmm. It's a question of what you're going to pay for that growth and is it worth it? So that's really, I think a lot of people in this market are grappling with that right now.
Yeah, just looking at how far the price has come. I mean, we're just moving off of a new high, intraday high, and for Apple yesterday, and the activity that investors, even over the past week since the announcement of the Vision Pro, when they had their big WWDC that our own Dan Howley was at, we were monitoring the stock price reaction, watching it get to or get in that ballpark of $3 trillion here. And so now the larger question is, all right, at what type of growth can this company continue to impress investors? And for the areas that have already shown some type of pushback from consumers, where that's on the electronic and discretionary side of their purchases, PC demand, that's not going to change dramatically in the near future, it doesn't seem, even though they have announced the new MacBook Pro that we were able to get hands on here on set yesterday. The iOS and the new updates there, sure, they look great, but at the end of the day, the iOS is going to be rolled out to an install base that they already have, and the number of new devices that are going to come online, that's still kind of up in the air right now. Yeah. And so you're still looking for a super cycle that has not emerged as to when that timeline is going to begin for investors to hang their hat on that next leg of growth for Apple.
Yeah, it's interesting, this note, because David Vogt, the analyst, is still raising his price target, even though he's downgrading the stock to $190. It's just above $190, where Apple would be a $3 trillion company. And if you look, even as it is, at the market cap of Apple, you know, sort of this puts it in perspective. We talk about these giant stocks and how they have dominated the market here. This really puts that in perspective. So there you have Apple's market cap at around almost $2.9 billion, bigger than Microsoft, bigger than Amazon, bigger than Alphabet, bigger than Saudi Aramco, bigger than the whole market cap of the United Kingdom. So, you know, that really does put things in perspective, right? When we talk about how these big cap stocks have really dominated the market action thus far this year.
Must have been our resident Brit that put that in perspective for us with the UK market cap.
Yeah, throwing that in there, maybe.
Well, yeah, possibly. But I think the remarkable thing here, too, is we remember Saudi Aramco's IPO. They were a $2 trillion company at the time they were going public, which really speaks to how Apple has been able to grow out their business, too, to not only meet, but then surpass a company that already had that valuation for an extended period of time, even prior to it making its public debut as well.
Yeah.